Hey, Mrparka here, and I'm sure you'll realize the change of scenery. Lots of things have been changing in my life, and I have to adapt to survive. I will be reviewing the Intervision Severin release of Christina. You know what? I had never heard of Christina, so when I put this in, I was in for a surprise. Essentially, Christina is based, this is the first movie adaptation of a series of kind of erotic books of this girl kind of like Christina who goes around the world. She's like a glamorous playgirl. She's worth millions, billions probably, and she does whatever she wants, and she sleeps around with a lot of people and has these weird erotic fantasies. That's essentially the film here, and it stars Jewel Shepard, which is kind of pretty much her, big kind of film debut. She was in some other stuff beforehand. People will be familiar with her if you watch my channel from Return of the Living Dead. She plays Casey, the ball-busting prick is what Suicide calls her. She's great in that movie. This is a completely different role for her. Essentially what happens is she goes around the world, all these different beautiful locations, kind of sleeping with whoever she wants. She ends up going to one of her friends, Old Flame's house, and she is kidnapped by these commando lesbians that want to hold her ransom. She escapes. She ends up with somebody else. She's constantly escaping. Constant kind of cheesy action ensues. But the whole time, no matter how grim the circumstances would be in a normal film, she's always okay. You know Christina's gonna be fine. It's all fluff. Now, I will say about the movie is the soundtrack is very catchy. The film is very 80s, and I think that helps it nowadays, looking back, kind of a fondness for people have for the 80s. The dialogue is cheesy. The dubbing is cheesy. The fight choreograph stuff is awful and miserable. There's so much nudity, plentiful nudity here. Some of the nude scenes, the erotic kind of sensual, dreamy stuff goes on a little long, but a couple of the sex scenes I was a little surprised by that they changed all these different positions. It turns into kind of a softcore porn film. So I must say that some of the sex scenes were actually done fairly well. Some of the scenes come in and out of focus. I don't think it's the addition's fault. I think it's probably just the old film, and they probably made some mistakes. The scenery is great. No gore to speak of. No real violence. Like I said, some cheesy fighting here and there. I'm not even sure if anybody dies on screen. Like I said, it's almost like a female kind of James Bond without the tough kind of demeanor. She's got somewhat a tough demeanor. It's a strange film because she has a real big sexual prowess, and she'll be like kind of like dominating people in one breath, and then the next breath she'll be taken advantage of by lesbians, and you're just like, I don't know. It's exploitation, baby. That's all I'll say there is to it. But the movie doesn't have any features on it. I mean, there's no subtitles, but you guys will get what's going on. There's no any other features. The release looks good. The movie is fun. It is fluff. It is cheesy, and it is definitely a slice of the 80s. The ending teased that more of these Christina adventures would come along. Unfortunately, we didn't get any. But, the 80s is guilty of doing that a lot. Thank Master Universe. Hey, Skeletor never came back, and neither did Christina. But that is Christina. This is getting released in June. It's probably already out. It's actually... a movie that I think a lot of people that have seen will have fond memories of, and a lot of people with the right attitude watching this will have a good time with it. I'm Mrparka. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.